My name's Ty. I'm 25 years old. I too am an alcoholic, suffer from alcoholism and drug addiction. I've been sober a little over 2 years, with many failed attempts to get sober. I personally have been through scores of treatment centers, more treatment centers than I can count on two hands, and tried a lot of other ways of getting sober by myself and my own means that failed utterly. Um, I finally got sober May of 2014. And it's always an honor and a privilege to do anything for the lake house, let alone work for the lake house. Having gone through so many treatment centers and given the opportunity to give back in the treatment field. Um, I work at the lake house because the people that work there are friends of mine, were friends of mine before I started working there. And I saw how they lived their lives in recovery, and it meant so much to me, and I learned so much from them that I wanted to be a part of everything they did. And I know that they brought that into not only their personal lives but their work life. And so I applied for the lake house and I got the job, and I've been working there almost 2 years. Um, and it's been an honor and a privilege. It's been a truly miraculous setting to work in and watch people recover and get well. Having been through so many treatment centers, I've seen a lot of different attempts and approaches in recovery. And not to sell any treatment center short, because miraculous things happen at all treatment centers. It's just more or less a common occurrence at the lake house, miracles. And it's truly fascinating to see. And I believe that the main reason for that is because of the staff having a knowledgeable life in sobriety, having tools that work for their recovery, that keep them sober and more or less happy almost all of the time. And they present this in a very approachable way that people that come in don't feel pressured. It's attractive, and they see this and they want to apply it to their own life. And a lot of it has to do with the willingness of the client, of course. But because they see this fun and this levity and this success and sobriety, people want it. There's no other way to put it. They see the lives that the staff lead there, and it becomes attractive and it becomes something they want. And then they start to ask questions, and we have the opportunity to tell them, hey, this is what works for us, and this is how we achieve this way of living. And it's truly miraculous, and we see it all the time. And that's why I work at the lake house, and that's why I stay sober, because my life is so much better in sobriety. I never thought I'd be happy in sobriety, but I am. And that's why I love showing other people how to achieve it, and working with people that have achieved it and continue to progress in their achievements of sobriety. And so it's always a privilege.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I am 21 years old. I'm an alcoholic, and I'm also a technician at the Lakehouse Recovery Center. Originally, I had applied for a couple jobs as a technician in places, just again the area, like some places in Malibu, some places in Thousand Oaks, and the hours were right, the price was right, and I had a lot of those jobs, but I really wanted to work somewhere where I could make a difference. I wasn't looking for the money or like the job. I was looking for people that cared about what they do, and that would encourage you to use your own approach to try to be as helpful as you can to the people that you're working with. And so when I started working at the lake house, that's kind of what I got was, be yourself, be helpful, share your experience. I like to use humor to get to people, and to try to help them realize that, like, I'm a human too. I'm not this scary authority staff figure. Like, I'm a human, and I'm also in recovery, and I've been through this, and I've been where you are, and I've been in treatment, and I've done everything wrong and didn't work out, and I didn't stay sober, and and now I know what works. I have 4.5 years, and what's worked for me is like getting really serious in AA and Alcoholics Anonymous, and trying to apply the principle of being helpful in every aspect of my life. Not just being nice to people that are alcoholics, not just being nice to people that I have to be nice to, but really trying to focus on like making a difference everywhere I go. You know, bringing something positive to every situation that I'm in instead of looking at what I can take from a situation. Horses is something I do as like a hobby, and it's also kind of like my version of meditation. And I feel like the universe speaks to me through horses, and I like to come up with analogies because analogies make sense to me. And an analogy that I figured out when I was training a horse is about fear, you know, and about trusting in something kind of bigger than yourself. And so I'm on this horse, and he was scared of this river, basically. It was like 2 inches deep. He was like, thought it was the end of the world. He's running this way and running this way and running this way, and I'm just supporting him. I'm not forcing him to go in the water. I'm not really asking him to do anything other than just kind of relax. And he continued to make it a big deal. And the analogy I came up with for my life is like, I try to control things, and I try to plan it out, like this is how it's going to work, and this is, if I only do it this way, then this is going to turn out perfectly, and you just have to behave, and you have to behave, and we're all just going to make it through, but you have to listen to me. And that's kind of like what this horse was doing. Like, if I go this way, it's going to work out. If I go this way, it's going to work out. I just need to make sure that everything is perfect. And in turn, he created a situation for himself that was stressful and uneasy. And he created, we call it drama in the horse world. Like, there's all this drama that he created. And I apply that in my life because, you know, when I have like big decisions that I need to make, like getting sober, or should I take this job opportunity, or should I move out of my apartment, or should I, you know, do these life-changing things, and I get in this mode, and I have a lot of fear, and I don't know what to do or what course to take. I think about that horse. He's trying to go left, he's trying to go right, and he's creating more of a situation because he's focused on something that he can't understand. He can't understand that water isn't going to hurt him. Just like I really can't understand what I'm afraid of, right? Because I'm afraid, and I'm trying to make it work out the way I think it needs to work out. And when I take a step back and I look at the big picture and realize that maybe someone else in my life or something bigger than me can understand and comprehend what I'm scared of, I can kind of let go and just take like the next right step, you know. And for that horse, the next right action might be like going a little bit closer to the water, or trying to see that maybe it's not that scary. And when he just takes it one step at a time, and he starts to realize that he wasn't scared of anything to begin with, and when he trusts in his rider, and when he trusts in me and realizes I'm not forcing him to do anything, and that I'm going to take care of him no matter what, he crossed that river, and he was like, oh, that was easy, you know, like, okay, I could have done that a long time ago, you know, and it's no longer a problem. Because he kind of gave up that control.
So the reason we're doing this interview together is because we are engaged, we're a couple, and I think that's important because, you know, considering we both work at the Lakehouse and people see us, you know, outside, like at meetings or maybe some of the fun activities we do, they see us together and they see us at work and they see that we're happy and sober and we're a couple, and that relationships work in sobriety and fun is to be had in sobriety, and there's so many things you can do in sobriety that you may not think are achievable because you're not drinking or getting loaded anymore, but that's all false, you know. And it always gives me great pleasure to be in a healthy relationship, you know, beyond healthy, and show people this is what a new way of living can get you, you know. Real relationships, meaningful relationships, happiness, purpose, joy, and so yeah, it's always a pleasure of mine is to show people that some of the things that sobriety can give you, you know.
Coming from you know, I think we've all had our fair share of bad decisions and bad relationships, and getting to show that we can get through that and kind of like learn how to communicate and get rid of toxic things in a relationship and like show that to other people is a pretty remarkable thing. A lot of times people are like really surprised when they realize that we're engaged and we work together. Like, oh my gosh, how do you do it? Like, how do you not hate each other? And I don't know, we just don't. We work things out, and that's because of the approach that sobriety has taught us to take, and it's a pretty cool thing to be able to like set an example for people of like, this is how healthier boundaries are set. This is like how a healthy relationship, like it happens, like it works. As crazy as that is to some people, like it's possible to do that, you know, and like we're not perfect, but we definitely get to like work through things together and like show that to people. It's pretty cool.
Good girl.